Good morning. This is Keith Ely with Key Advisors. I'd like to spend a few minutes this morning with you visiting about throughput, the time it takes for a repair order to go from start to finish, open of the repair order to closing of the repair order in your service department. We're going to spend some time speaking about several items regarding throughput. First of all, what are the elements of repair order throughput? We'll talk briefly about those. And we're going to talk about the customer and the operational impacts, both to your customer and on your business. Let's talk first of all, though, about why this is so important to the customer. Downtime or lack of uptime is probably the single most expensive opportunity cost or real expense to your customer, the end user. When they can't operate their asset, truck or trailer, it costs them a lot of money. We hear the idea of $500 to $1,500 a day, and whatever that number is, that plus the stress of having to reschedule and juggle schedules and everything really impacts your customer. So it's important to them. And the better we can be at throughput and at communicating with our customer, the better we can help them and help ourselves. So what does throughput consist of? Well, simply it is the open to close of the repair order. That's all it is. We measure it in time increments. Those time increments can be minutes, hours, days, weeks, hopefully not months, but we measure everything in time increments. The repair order is made up of two key elements of repair order throughput, one being dwell, which we'll define, the other being lag time. Dwell time, which we all hear about, is simply the open of the repair order to last technician punch on the repair order. Pretty simple. Dwell time is made up now of two pieces. That time that the truck is out of the customer's possession that they view as the truck, quote, being worked on. It consists of these two items. First of all, lead time. Secondly, production time. Dwell time, as we said, consists of lead time, which is the open of the repair order to the first technician punch on the repair order. Simply, it is the intake of the repair order. The second piece of it is production time. It's the time it takes to perform the actual repair on the repair order. That consists of two items as well. First being technician work time, which is made up of technician efficiency, the ability of the tech to turn the time on the repair order and to do it quickly. Secondly, it's made up of bay dwell time. Bay dwell time is simply waste, time that the repair is not being worked on. So remember, production time is the elapsed time of the first punch to the last punch, not always being worked on. We also have this thing called lag time. And lag time simply is the last technician punch to the close of the repair order, okay? Also known as cash flow. We know that throughput is made up and we measure it via three items that we call rule of twos. And we've studied probably over 1 million repair orders. And we've identified three key rules that if the repairer can meet that, the repairer can be much more profitable and more efficient. I want to be very clear. Not every repair order is going to meet it because it can't. And we're not going to get into the details of that, but these are very high level metrics. They're process measures, okay? They're to understand why a repair order didn't meet it, but understand also the impact that if we can meet these rule of twos, we're going to increase capacity in our service department. The first rule of two is simply what we call lead time rule of two, repair order open to first punch, less than or equal to 2 hours. Most of us are very aware of that. Production time, which is that first punch to last punch, okay, being less than or equal to 2 times the sold hours. So if we sell 8 hours on a job, that production time, first to last punch, should be no more than 16. By the way, we don't include when the shop is closed, the weekends and so forth. And that's why not every repair order will make it. But it's an easy way to measure our effectiveness. And the third one is lag, last punch to close, less than or equal to 2 days. Cash flow. Why is this throughput important? Well, first of all, from the customer standpoint, If we can meet those rule of twos, if we have a repair that meets the rule of twos, our studies say that we could be 3.6 days plus better in getting that repair order back to the customer. That's pretty important. From a financial standpoint for the dealership and the department, if we meet the rule of two, our gross profit can go up 5.9 points, not percent, 5.9 points. Okay, efficiency can go upwards of 19% plus for the tech. Lag time can reduce by 5.7 days. That's an improvement in cash flow. And this thing called consistency, the ability to know that each repairer is going to be much better in terms of production, more consistent to the customer. That standard deviation, the indication of variability, the standard deviation decreases. Importantly for you to know is that these projects that we've done for dealerships, and we've done many, okay, related to throughput, workflow, and so forth, increase in capacity, these have yielded over $1 million for a dealership in increased gross profit on an annual basis, and they keep it. Sometimes they actually do it with less tax. The really interesting thing is that the return on investment on these types of projects is 400 to 600%, and we calculate that return on investment of comparing increased gross profit for the period of the project versus the investment made in our services. So investment made in these types of engagements, 4 to 6x of the cost of the project. And a project takes about 12 to 24 months. They're tough, intense projects, but can yield great results. So in conclusion, what we know is this: meeting and improving throughput, it can have a dramatic impact on your customer, improving the relationship, providing them more uptime days, and it can significantly improve the financial performance of your dealership. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope to talk to you soon.